This is the secret formula to create the perfect jazz standard.
So today, Henrique is going to show me a foolproof way to write a classic sounding jazz standard with just 5 simple rules. We're going to go through picking your chords, designing a melody, and practices that can help you create something that you're going to love.
Beautiful, okay? So let's move to our iPad here, where I'm gonna share with you our chord matrix from last video. And as you can see here, we have our 7 chords from our major family, right here. The B diminished we're not using just because it sounds quite bad, and I don't think it serves any harmonic purpose, okay? And that's our immediate nuclear family. Then we have our, group of, in theory, they're called secondary dominants, but I like to call them like your close relatives, your cousins and uncles, okay? They're gonna be used all of the time. And then on this third layer on top, we have basically the dominants of the dominants. Those are your far relatives, your second degree cousins, third degree cousins, and all of that. And here in the bottom, as we talked about last time, it's the upside down world from Stranger Things. Those are the chords from your minor family, the parallel minor family. So if we were operating with C major, this is going to be C minor. And you get all these new chords. And the D diminished doesn't serve nothing. So I'm excluding that one already. Great. Are you comfortable with that, Tim?
You bet I am.
Okay, so here comes rule number 1, and you may complain and you may find it stupid, but it actually helps. You should start with your 1 chord or with your 6 chord, meaning C major or A minor. And you may say like, oh, come on, but can I start with something else? Yeah, but I recommend starting on 1 or 6 for the exercise. Rule number 2, and this may be the most important one. Whenever you choose a chord, any chord from this group right here, you must follow the arrows. Meaning that if you use, I don't know, an F sharp 7, okay, you must then go to a B7, and then you must go to an E minor. Oh, but I know so many examples that don't fulfill this rule. Yeah, there are many, but they're deceptive. They are kind of the exception, okay? We're playing by the rules right now. Rule number 3, if you're gonna use a 2-5-1, meaning if you're gonna use a purple chord followed by a red chord, okay? It sounds very in the style of jazz standards if you manage to put both of them in the same bar. Okay, so we're mostly going to use 1 chord per bar, but if you're going to use a purple chord and then a red one, try to put them in the same bar. Rule number 4. First, you try to establish a little bit of your tonality before you start using too many crazy chords. Okay, so we try to find some sort of an equilibrium in how you're deciding and choosing your harmonies. Save your special chords for the middle, for the 3rd line or for the 2nd line. Don't use them right at the beginning.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's all I needed.
And then, if you want this to sound more like a pop song, I recommend that you copy down bars 1-4 into bars 5-8. Meaning, whatever chord you add here, you're going to also add here. So, they're going to basically be the same. Bars 1 and 4, bars 5 and 8. This creates a sense of structure, okay? And we'll have this information in a short ebook that's going to be available on our website, together with all the other lessons and little tricks that we've been collecting over these years. We're gonna be composing something here in real time, no preparations, no, how do you say, no?
No rehearsal, no prep.
Yeah. And so we're gonna create a template with 16 bars. Okay, you can do that with 4 bars if you want, or 8 bars. I like to use 16 bars because that's enough length to actually make a strong statement. And we're just going to be working with chords in this first part. So Tim, what's your first chord?
All right, so 1 or 6. So I'll start with 1. Let's start with C major.
All right.
I'll use rule 3, B diminished to E7 in the same bar, and then go to A minor. And then I'll go from A minor to the 4. I always like the sound of going back and forth between 1 and 4. Can I give it 1 more chord at the end of bar 4?
Yeah.
Let me just give it a G7 so that it takes me back in maybe beat 4 or whatever. Let that sit for 2 beats.
Like this. Beautiful. Beautiful,
I think
right?
we can. I think we can do something with this. So I figured let's just follow all the rules the first time and see what happens. So then let's do C, B half diminished to E7, A minor 7.
This is a great bar to start changing things. Since we've been repeating so much, it's time to introduce some novelty. So why don't you come up with a different sequence here?
I might go with an E minor 7.
E minor or E half diminished?
Let's do E half diminished.
Let's hear how that sounds. I'm playing the first 8 bars here. Beautiful.
I kind of like it.
Beautiful. Okay.
I like
That's
it.
great. Maybe now the third line is where you can introduce something a little new, So why don't you pick a chord from the minor family?
Yeah, I think what might shake it up is if I take that next bar and I go up to F minor.
Ooh, dark. Now, next.
I guess I shouldn't think too hard about it, should I?
Don't.
I'll go to a
just,
B flat. Let me go to a B flat.
Okay. Because they form a 2-5-1, they could be in the same bar or not. But I'll add your B flat here. It's normally a B flat.
And then
7.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And then let's go to an E flat in bar 4.
Ooh. So basically what you did, these 3 chords are all coming from the minor family.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to suddenly become really dark. Look, starting from the third line. D minor. Beautiful. Now let's find a way. Now we're too much in the upside down world. It's time to go back to the surface. Okay? Maybe pick now a chord from the major family, just so we remind the listener that that's actually the origin. Okay?
Yeah, let's go back to D minor then. Because then we'll surround this D minor.
Great. I also like the fact that you're mirroring, So what about now?
Yeah, so let me do F sharp half diminished.
Ooh, love it. This one. Then a B7,
Yep.
then an E minor.
Then a B7 to E minor. So all in one bar.
Now, do you want to do a big jazz kind of turnaround?
I'd say let's do a big jazz turnaround.
So we transform that E minor that you resolved. And this is a trick that composers do all the time. Instead of thinking about this E minor, you can think about this E minor. You understand?
Right.
Let's see how that sounds. So the entire thing.
I love it. It's actually kind of like a Christmas song.
Well, but every jazz standard, every Christmas song is a jazz standard. Written by the same
And
people
every
many
jazz
times.
standard is a Christmas song.
So imagine a melody. Choose a note that's going to be our note for the C major chord.
I think I would do a G.
Maybe we can just write the G on top. What is the closest note to G that I can use that belongs to B half diminished? I could go either up to A or down to
F.
right? You
Yep.
choose.
I would go with A. The pathway I would take is I would start making a line that's going in ascension. So
Oh.
I would make it go in a direction. So
Oh.
I might go G, then A, then B.
That's beautiful.
Because then I'm going to have the ability to go up to C
Now, we can go to C or you can keep it as a B.
at B.
You know,
Yeah,
if
could
you
do
understand more
either.
about harmony, you know this is the ninth, so it's okay. We can do that.
let's move from a B to a C in the second half of the A minor bar and hold it over the bar line.
Oh, okay. So you mean, and keep it there.
Got it.
And now for G7.
Let's get fancy and move up to C sharp. I like it.
I cannot hold a C sharp because I'm going back to C, but maybe you can even, if you want to keep going up, what would be your choice?
Next, I would do D.
Oh, beautiful. That's the ninth.
Yeah.
So we're starting to like really go far. And
Yeah.
what about now? You have diminished.
So then I'm going to stay on D.
And now
I'm going to go
you want to go down?
C over the first two beats of the A minor, and then down to B in the second two beats,
That works. Okay.
and then B flat over the E diminished,
Next.
and then A.
Or you can keep your B flat.
Either way.
Then it becomes
You
a
wanna
flat-
keep it?
It becomes a flat 9. Yeah, I like that.
The reason I did what I did is I kind of wanted to see what it felt like to go ascending for 4 bars and then descending for 4 bars to give the melody a shape.
Beautiful. Okay.
That's
Let's
nice.
continue. Go quickly. Tim.
A,
A. Next.
A flat,
Next.
A flat,
Next.
G,
Next.
F,
Look at you, man. Next.
E,
Next.
E.
D
Am I
sharp.
stupid? Do you think I should do D sharp or should I make that a B sus?
Well, I think you should just be more traditional.
B stock? Okay, D sharp,
Next.
D,
Next.
C sharp,
Next.
C,
Next.
B.
Okay.
Oh, actually do B, A. B in beat 3, A in beat 4.
The idea is that this is not your melody, but these are your anchors. You know, those are the notes that you're going to try to then. You can take other notes and orbitate around that and create ornamentations or passing neighbor tones or something like that. But I find it really beautiful when you have one guiding line that is taking you on a certain direction. So for example, I'm going to just play the notes that are in red here, but I'm going to add little neighboring tones. A neighbor tone is when you go someplace, but then you return. It's different than a passing tone. When you go, like you're stepping to a different note and just play some notes in between. So look at this. All the way back home. You can even start thinking about words. So do you have something written around you? Any sentence, any word? You are screen sharing. That's what I see on my screen. So imagine you take the sentence, you are screen sharing, and you start singing this over the chorus, like over the note G. You are screen sharing. You are screen sharing. You are screen sharing. You're screen sharing. You're screen sharing. You're screen sharing. Whatever, you know? I'm not going to use those words, but it helps you to get a sense of like the inflections, the distribution of notes, the rhythm that you're going to use in your melody. And, you know, you replace all of that by actual words later. But it does, even if you're not writing a song with words, you should still think about words because it makes the melody more human. If you wake up and you're feeling really uninspired without any good ideas, then do like 20 exercises like this. You're gonna have 20 templates. And don't do anything else. And then the next day, maybe you're gonna feel a little different. You can go through them and see the ones that are really sparking some different ideas. And of course, you're gonna change this. You're gonna add more chords. You're gonna reharmonize. You can modulate in the middle, whatever. You can do whatever you want. But the starting point being something so logical and methodical and organized like this is gonna guarantee that your piece is gonna make sense. Try it yourself, and if you record something, tag us or post online. We'd love to hear and give our feedback.
And if you like learning in new and creative ways, this is the channel for you. So please subscribe and check out our videos where we talk about harmony and theory, ear training, composition, improvisation. Jazz Lab is a home for you.